Happy Friday, everyone. So here we are. Are any of you out there wishing you had nutritious things for your family, but time, right? The time factor is keeping you from doing it? Yeah, me too. Well, don't worry. Today we're going to solve that, and you will be shaving time off and giving your family nutrient-dense bone broth without them even knowing it sometimes. Okay. Welcome. Please let me know if you're joining on live. Let me see if I can pull this up here so I can see who's joining in. Hopefully give me a thumbs up or a heart if you can see and hear me okay. I can't see your comments coming in, so hopefully you guys can see and hear me okay. My name is Amy Miller, and I'm here live with you today on our 3 Life Essentials page. I guess you could say I'm a crunchy mom. To some people I am. I guess to others I'm not quite crunchy enough. But I have been researching all things natural for a little over 10 years, and together with my husband, we are the founders of 3 Life Essentials. We're advocating wellness in all areas of our lives, in our spiritual life, in our health care, and in our lifestyle. In fact, we are creating a team that helps people with their health. If that's something you'd like to learn more about, then let's connect. But this is Free Friday. It's a weekly series on Fridays where we're learning to gain, together we're learning, right? To gain freedom, experience life a little bit more fully, freedom in our choices, freedom in our lifestyle, in our healthcare, financial freedom. Bonus if we can do most of these things naturally, right? So I'm here joining you from the beautiful Williams, Arizona. We came here yesterday. We have been this is a mom who loves the warm weather. We've been enjoying Southern California and Golden Valley, Arizona for the last few weeks, and we pushed up in elevation. We just drove a couple of hours yesterday, but we pushed up in elevation just a little bit, and now we are in high of 47, I think, today. So in Williams, Arizona. So that elevation will change the weather for you for sure. So let's get into this. You know, life's too short to be living by somebody else's rules. So this is where we're going to be learning to live free, unconstrained, free from junk, free from stank sometimes, free from dyes, free from complaints. Today we're going to be time free. We're going to find some time freedom, and we're going to be sick free. Now, last week, if you joined me, we talked about what is bone broth and how it's different from store-bought. And we also talked about 5 benefits of bone broth. Now, there's a plethora more of benefits, but we talked about 5. And we talked about benefits of doing it in an instant pot. You see mine behind me. And we talked a little bit about where to get bones. For those of you joining me on live at the beginning, I'm going to give you one more bonus tip because I forgot to mention another place where you can get your bones that would be accessible to anybody. So Azure Standard, it's like the color Azure, azurestandard.com. You can go to that website and you can find beef and chicken bones on their website, and they are a company based out of Oregon that delivers all over the country. So all you have to do is go on their website, find what you want. It's like a warehouse, grocery store for all things natural. We love it. Find a location that has a drop location near you, and you can pick up your bone broth, your bones there to make your bone broth as well. So that's just a tip for you, bonus for those of you joining me on live. Hey, if you have friends or family that would benefit from this information, click the share button below and share this with them. We want to add value to their lives as well. In fact, I'm going to share this as well. I think, let's see, where am I sharing this? I've never had it ask me to do a search for where I'm sharing this. So that's a new one. Have you ever had it do that? When you click share, you know what? I'm just going to click there. Now, comment below if you own an Instant Pot. I love to hear how many of you own an Instant Pot. Even if you're joining me on the replay, just type yes if you have an Instant Pot. I would love to see it. Now, I had an Instant Pot. In fact, you can see another video that we did a while back on cooking in an Instant Pot. But I owned my Instant Pot for about 6 months before I ever even used it. And so I would love to hear who has one. It's not letting me share it. I don't know what's going on with technology here. Maybe I'll try to share it after. So, and comment with a 1 below if you have made bone broth before. What about in an Instant Pot? I'd love to hear who has made bone broth before, and what about if you've made it in an Instant Pot. So we're going to do this together. I'm going to show you now. Last week you guys saw that I had started an instant bone broth, and last week I made, I used beef bones. This week I'm going to be using chicken bones, but I'm going to show you here. I'm going to pour this into, I don't know if you guys can see this here. I've been warming up some of my beef broth that I made last week, and you can see just that dark color in here, full of all of those nutrients that we talked about last week. And it smells amazing. I'm going to take a sip out of my measuring cup here. Okay, so here's what you're going to do first. So in your Instant Pot, once you've got your ingredients, you're literally just going to throw everything in. Now, I actually got these bones. Actually, I think I have a mixture. I think I have bones that I got from our local farmers in Texas, from Yonder Way Farm. Now, you can use your bones just straight from the carcasses that when you have cooked chicken, like if you're making chicken soup or something, just save the carcass from that, the bones from that, and you can use those later for your bone broth. I did not have many this time, so I purchased, because I will tell you the bones that work great for your chicken stock are backs and necks and feet. So you're just going to dump those bones in. Now, I have an 8-quart Instant Pot because I have a bigger family and I have boys that are big eaters. Now, don't worry about those of you who are grossed out maybe by the chicken feet, which these are the chicken feet. Can you see them? I see there's some of you on here and you're making some comments and I can't see them. So let me see if I can check them in just a minute. But these are the chicken feet. You never have to touch them. Watch. Boom. I just put it in there. Didn't touch. Don't have to touch them. If you're grossed out by that. And you know what? I think I've got an excess of bones that I'm not even going to be able to throw in there today, but I'm going to put in. Now, these are some bones that I have used from when I was just making a chicken soup, so I'm going to put those in there as well. You for sure want to have feet in them. Don't try to skimp on that, because that's where you're going to get your gelatin. So that's where all that collagen is going to be. And if you go back to the video last week where we talked about the benefits of the collagen and the gelatinousness, is that a new word? I think I'm making it up. The benefits of that, you don't want to skimp on that. Okay, I'm going to ask, hey Jim, do you mind putting these back in the freezer for me? We're not going to use those. Okay, so once you've got your bones in, you're going to put in what I like to call a secret ingredient, a special ingredient. Oh wow, I don't have any towels in here to dry my hands. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. I like to call this my secret ingredient, your apple cider vinegar. Now what this is going to do is all you're going to need to do is put in some splashes of it. I usually put probably a couple of tablespoons in here. And what this is going to do is this is going to draw the minerals out of the bones. I'm going to put one more tablespoon in for good measure. My bones are frozen, so I may let them thaw a little bit and then add in the rest of the bones that I had. But you want to look for raw apple cider vinegar, the one with the mother in it, okay, because that is going to be the most nutritious. Bragg brand is the one that I use. I love this one. Gosh, I don't know why it's not letting me show. Oh, hey, Bethany. You missed most of last week. You have to go back and watch the whole thing. Yes, yes. New feature. What's a new feature? Oh, no, Amy, it's been buffering here. Well, yes, maybe you'll have to go back and watch the replay. Okay. So once you've added in, all you've thrown in is your bones and the apple cider vinegar. Then you're just going to throw whatever veggies you have in your fridge, in your pantry. I normally put in onions, and you guys, you don't have to dice these. You don't have to make these special in any way. Literally, you can even leave the wrap, the peel on the onion. Sometimes I just rough chop them in half. I'm actually, look at my poor little basket here. I'm out of onions. I need to go get some produce. Anybody know a local great farmer's market in Williams, Arizona? Message me. I need to get some more onions, but normally I would put an onion or two in this well, and then I'll usually throw in some celery. You guys, you don't even have to cut them up. No, we're gonna eliminate the time constraints with this, okay? In fact, many times I even just leave the tops on. These just happen to already be chopped up, so I'm gonna throw those in there. And then carrots. I like to put in carrots. You can even put some parsley in at the end. Normally I don't use these kinds of carrots. Again, I need to go get some produce, but I'm going to use what I have. But this is going to pull some more nutrients. We're going to pull all the nutrients from these veggies as well. So I'm going to put in some carrots. If you can find carrots with the tops on it, that's even better. Use the whole carrot. Now you may want to rough chop it in half just to be able for it to fit in the pot. But there is no fancy dicing, chopping that you need to do. There went my phone. That you need to do in this. Just throw it in. Because the goal here is nutrients. You're not going to be eating the bones or eating these foods. We're going to be displaying them so everybody can see your culinary skills. Or You're just going to throw them in. Now, I like to add in some raw garlic. Again, just whole garlic. Just throw them in there. Now, now what you're going to do is you're just going to top everything off with water. I'm going to go ahead and do that here. So you're gonna just enough to cover the bones. You don't want to add too much water because then your broth will not be as gelatinous. So I think I like just saying that word. I feel like it makes me sound smart. I don't know. Okay, so let's just backtrack. You're gonna place the bones in the Instant Pot with your veggies, your apple cider vinegar. If you want to add in a little salt, you can. Add the water until your pot is about 2/3 full, okay? Now, if you have time, and I'm going to say yes, you should, especially if you're on your Instant Pot here, because it'll do it for you. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to let your pot sit for 30 minutes to an hour, because that's going to allow the vinegar to pull those minerals out of the bones, okay? If you immediately start heating it up, it's not going to have the time to pull those minerals out. Whoops. Okay. Now, here's what you're going to do. You're going to put your top on your Instant Pot, close it up, make sure it's sealed at the top. You're going to select the soup feature, okay? And you're going to set the pressure to low, and then you're going to increase your cooking time to 120 minutes. Now, I'm going to set the timer. Oops. Soup. Okay. Timer. And then you're going to, however long you want to delay, here's what you're going to do. Here's how you're going to be able to delay it. Oops, I don't want it to do that. Here we go. So I'm going to want it to delay for 1 hour before it starts. So all you have to do is push timer, and it will delay it and then not start it until there. And then once the timer goes off, allow your Instant Pot to depressure naturally, and then you're going to strain your broth, and you're just going to discard the bones and the vegetables. So you're going to throw away the bones and the vegetables. You're going to keep the broth. And then here's what I'm going to show you, uses for your broth, okay? So those of you who have made bone broth before, comment below with what you have used your bone broth for. I want to hear, you might give us a new idea to use our bone broth in a new way. But here's what I'm going to show you I do with mine. Can I reach these up here? Maybe. Do we have any ice trays? The top to this?
Just kind of washed.
I'm going to have my awesome assistant who is geared up for the cold weather. Here we go. I love, now I try to eliminate plastics in my home. So I love these stainless steel ice cube trays. I got them on Amazon. I think they're by Onyx or something. Here's what I do. Once I've got my bone broth, you're going to pour it into these containers. I have about 3 of them. And then you're going to freeze them. Now your bone broth, your newly made bone broth, can sit in your fridge for about 5 days. So if you're not going to use all of that within 5 days, which we don't, you're going to want to do something with it. You're going to want to freeze it. So this is what I like to do, because if you put them in here and freeze them, then once they're frozen, I put them in these big Ziploc bags. Now again, I try to eliminate as much as possible plastics in my home, but there are occasions where I use these Ziploc bags. But I'm not heating up or in them or anything like that. So Now I have all of these cubes of bone broth. Now this is not all I made last week. It makes bags and bags of these. This is just one that I have. And what's awesome is it creates 1 ounce cubes of them. So when you're going to be using your bone broth, you can use them in soups, in gravies, in sauces. You can use them as a base for your soups and stews. So any of your recipes that tell you to add in a 1/2 cup of water or 2 cups of water, and X out the water and add your bone broth. And now you've got them in 1 ounce cubes. And so you just count how many ounces you need and toss them in. It's awesome. And it's going to give so much more flavor to your soups and stews. You can also just heat it up like I did in here on the stove and put it in a mug by itself as a warm drink. It's great for on a cold day, especially we went back to last week. Remember when we talked about our great-grandmother recommending drinking some chicken soup? This is what she's talking about, drinking this when your immune system needs some more support, or you're feeling a little down, you're needing a boost, maybe your tummy's not doing well. Your kids can drink this. It's so yummy. It's so rich in flavor, okay? You can also use this as a base for your gravies and your sauces. You can use it to cook your veggies for extra nutrients. Basically, anytime your recipe, it's a savory recipe and it's calling for water, just X that out and put broth. Okay, you can use it in place of water even when you're cooking your rice or your beans. I do this all the time, and it just adds not only more flavor but nutrients, and your kids and your family will never know that you've added them in. Okay, you're like sneakily giving them all these amino acids and all of these nutrients, and they have no idea. Okay, isn't that awesome? Don't you just feel like you're winning? Okay, so this is going to get going, and I'm going to, I think that's it. You know, that's all there is to it, and that's why there's so much time freedom in it, because literally you just walk away, and then when you're finished, you just strain it all out, throw it away, put them in the ice cube trays, and you're done. You're ready to make them. I usually will save some that I know I'm going to use in the next day or two for a soup or a stew or something, and then the rest I freeze and then I use for all my different recipes and things. So I'm going to sign off. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this and you found it valuable to you. Please don't forget to share this with your friends or family that could benefit to this. If you're new to our Facebook page, or even if you're not, just click the subscribe button in the top right and you'll get a notification when we go live with our Free Friday segments. Now, if you'd like to go back and review any of our Free Friday segments, the best way to do that is just go to our YouTube channel at 3 Life Essentials, and just click subscribe there. And so far we've covered a wide variety of topics. You can go back and see last week's where we talked about the benefits of bone broth and where to get bones. In fact, go back to the beginning here if you're just joining us, and you can see where the option to share to a certain spot is a new Facebook feature. I did not know that, Bethany. Learn something new every day. And I'm going to be warming up today with a mug of some bone broth because it is quite chilly out here. So next week, we've been talking about daily health habits. Next week, we're actually taking on a daily health habits challenge. We invite you to come along with us. Comment below if you want to know more about how to join in the daily health habits challenge. It all starts April 15th and goes through May 13th. We're going to be taking in, we've partnered with doTERRA to take some daily health habits products and incorporate those health habits for us to stay healthy. So thank you guys for joining us. We hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.